have been thinking to make this video. I had this in my mind for a while. Wanted to make a video on this for sure, and here we go. Why did I stop doing mantra chanting? And by mantra chanting, I mean deity worship in a way, because last year I was a lot into doing mantras for deities. Why did I stop doing that this year? I'm gonna say something, and I don't know if I'm gonna have a backlash with this video, but anyways, I'm just gonna say whatever I feel, and I have learned through my journey. The day I woke up with this thought in my mind that Leena, you're no better than an alcoholic, was the day I stopped doing mantra chanting. I'm gonna say why. Last year, of course, I was a lot into following a particular routine, doing certain spiritual practices, doing mantra chanting n number of times on a particular day, and XYZ, so many things. The moment I will take a break from that, like for a week or something, I would feel so guilty of not doing those spiritual practices. It came to a point where it almost made it impossible for me to go about my life. It was almost like, why am I not doing it? I was so distracted all the time because I didn't do my spiritual practice today. And it would keep distracting me the whole day. And then I would again go back into doing my spiritual practice, but out of fear and guilt. Of course, in my journey, like my spiritual journey roughly started around 2019. And I have done a couple of things, honestly, to arrive at my truth. And honestly, the more dearly I wanted to seek, the more dearly I was becoming a seeker, the farther away I was getting from my truth. I tried everything you can think of. I have done spirit work. I have done summoning spirits. I have done everything I could in my capacity and understanding. I have tried everything you can think of. Everything people talk about on this spiritual, like white magic, black magic, I don't know, whatever word you want to use for that matter, offerings, doing deity work, um, following rituals. I've done everything. Okay, whatever people term as even white magic, I've done that. Okay, whatever you can think of. Only in the, like I wanted to reach or arrive at my truth. Okay, because I was not happy in life. I was not satisfied deep down. It's like I would get some sort of pump, okay, for a month or two or something, and again, it's like it's gone. And I'm like, it's not making sense, okay? Um, I remember the last time I was doing my beads, the mantra chanting on my beads, and I was looking at the picture of the deity that I was doing the mantra chanting for. It came into my mind like, why am I doing this? Why? Because I'll feel guilty later I didn't do it. Is this really how I'm gonna arrive at my truth? Seriously, Leena? That was the last time I did it. I'm like, no, it's not happening. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care. I don't care. And I just started relaxing myself. I was like, relax. If the truth has to find me, it will by itself. It will reveal. I'm not I'm not doing any other BS. All right. See, I'm not saying that. See, okay. Now people will be like, but you used to talk about this and that. Listen, that was a part of my journey. Sometimes, in order to arrive at a particular place, you will have to climb the mountain. Unless and until you literally climb at the top and see the view, that's another realization, right? The journey is important too. So I will never take away from someone their journey. If someone is doing their month, do it. I'm not saying you don't have to. Did I say that? No. I'm sharing what I went through and what I realized. Okay? To arrive at that point, the routine that I followed for continuously an year was necessary. Otherwise, I would have never arrived at that because sometimes it's better to f around and find out. That is what I was doing in my spiritual journey all the time. I'm the kind of person I would experiment and find out myself. I would not prefer buying someone else's truth. Okay, you can hear someone, you can read a book, you can, yeah, okay, all that jazz is good. But I want to have my part of the experience too. I want to have that ride all by myself to experience how it feels. Okay. um, I don't need borrowed truths, I don't need borrowed wisdom. I need something that has the mark of my own true experience. That's why I did all of that. And you know what? The moment I would start a practice or when I started doing it, yes, it will show you result. It is your subconscious playing tricks on you because it's similar to the fact that the moment you bring a change, it's like that beginner's luck sort of thing, or no, that's not the right term. It's almost like the moment you bring in a new change, your mind is like, yeah, I know this is gonna, it's a subconscious trick. Your mind is almost like, yeah, this is gonna work because I have put so much of effort. It will work for a while. Your subconscious will play that trick. But after a point, its charm fades away because it wants you to see something deeper there. So this year, beginning of this year, I was not getting it from my practices. And in fact, the moment I would leave my practice behind, it would make me feel so guilty and bring up all these feelings of shame, why I was not doing this, why I was not doing that. And I was like, hang on, I can't keep going like this whole my life because at this point I was almost like becoming mechanical with even my spiritual routine. And that's the whole point. I mean, having deep spiritual realization is all about living life in the most blissful state. But I'm not feeling blissful. Something is wrong here. So people become all about the mechanical part of doing it. People become all about the ritual, all about the mantras, all about this. Why don't you put this there? Why don't you? It's almost like you have got another new addiction. Yeah, you may not be smoking cigarettes. You may not be drinking alcohol. You may not be consuming substances. Now, this is your new addiction. It looks fancy on the outside, but trust me, babe, it's an addiction. So, the moment I started noticing it's becoming more mechanical than something that makes me feel good deep within, or something that is actually adding into my life, I stopped doing it. I was like, no, it's not happening. This is not how I'm supposed to live. Okay. And some people take years to realize this, 10 years, 15 years, 12 years. Maybe I'm happy I came to this realization a little more faster because I like to question things. I like to question that why. And I'm grateful that curious mind led me to there. And I came at a point where I was like, you know what? I'm done with searching truth with all of these things that I'm doing. When the truth is supposed to show up, it will show up. I don't care. And the moment I literally stopped giving an F, because I didn't throw in the towel unless and until I tried my best with everything. It's not that, yeah, I tried my best with everything I could in my understanding and knowledge. Okay. Okay, I stopped giving an F about the truth. And it came to me. It came to me. I had the most deeper realizations this year than I have ever had in my entire life. Most people won't leave behind their spiritual practices or their religious practices. You know why? Because their ego doesn't want to accept they were wrong all this time. That's the hardest part. People would rather protect their ego, even though they deep inside they feel dead. They feel this is doing nothing to me. This practice is really doing nothing at the end of the day. But they would still do it. You know why? Because they want to protect their ego. The ego of I cannot be wrong. I could never make a wrong choice. So most of the times people are just protecting their ego even if there's nothing to gain out of it. Like how come? I mean, how come I can say to the world I'm no longer doing this? There is a famous quote by Alan Watts that you're under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. That is a part of the process when you're evolving as a human. Something that you accepted as your whole world and reality 1 year ago can now be your biggest lie in life. Think of it like this: the person you met 2 years ago, at that time, this person was your dream person, the best thing ever that could have happened to you. But after 2 years, you realize, no, this was such a big lie. You know, in today's day and age, many people out there, especially I feel in the spiritual community, they're just playing a character. They just don't want to leave that ego behind. I think most of them are just playing a character because they went into it and people have started recognizing them in a certain light. Now they don't want to snap out of character. That's about it. They might have started in all honesty. I'm not saying they might have started in all honesty, a journey. But even after maybe having realizations, they don't want to leave this ego behind because they think if I leave this behind, people are gonna judge me. How can I be wrong? It's XYZ. So, stop protecting your ego and start seeing the truth as it is, and life will be much more easier. You don't have to pressure yourself. I'm going to say something. Don't pressure yourself looking at people who come across as too perfect. They are playing a character most of the times. Okay? Don't feel bad about yourself. I see I see many a times people commenting in some of my videos. I have noticed comments that, you know what, I feel guilty. I have not been following a spiritual routine. I feel guilty. I have not been doing this, that. Don't. Many people out there that you see, they're playing a character. Especially people who appear as too perfect. They know everything, know it all. It's a character they're playing. No one knows it all, trust me. Everyone is figuring out bit by bit, one step after the other. So don't feel guilty about yourself. No one is perfect out there. And if they are appearing to be too perfect out there, I am sure they're playing a character. No one knows too much. Trust me, no one. And the people who know too much, you will come to know from them. You will come to know. First of all, the person who knows too much will never make you feel guilty about yourself, will never make you feel guilty about where you are. Like, not in the sense that they will make you question your whole existence, no. They will definitely correct you on certain things where you might not be valuing yourself, where you might be seeing yourself in a negative light. Rather, they will try to highlight your superpower. That's the true identity of a person who has wisdom. The best way, I'm going to say something today which will help you in the future. The best way you can understand that Someone who is wise is the person who will help you to recognize your own superpower, not in an egotistical way, not like, oh my God, you're so. No, not the fake SHIT. I'm not talking about that. Not the ones who will brush your ego to gain something out of you. No. The wise person is the one who will make you realize about your own superpower, gaining nothing from you. They will highlight the most precious thing within you, but at the same time, they have nothing to gain from it. Think about this. On this note, I will end this video. I'll be back again when I have something important to share, of course. And I think I'll be going live on this channel soon. I want to like just interact with people in general. Okay, okay. If I can help you guys with something just about your daily life, or maybe I can just have a chit chat here. So see you soon, and please take care of yourselves. Bye bye.